so I stopped being lazy. Yeah, and I became creative. And I learned how to create it. And now that pride's for me. So come see. Oh, come eat.
And we are back with another episode of The Silver Lining with my special part-time co-host, because that's what he is now. We've elevated him. He's gotten a promotion. My part-time co-host Cameron Turner. How you doing, Cam?
Hey man, feels good to be back. Feels good to be promoted. I got promoted, man.
All right, awesome, brother. Well, look, we about to go ahead and do a good one for you because you know the Falcons play the Bucks. They host the Bucks on a Thursday. They act like us adults don't have grown schedules or whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Saints game in a little more depth today, and then we're gonna go ahead and preview the Bucks versus the Falcons. All right. So Cam, I know we got a lot out on the table in that first episode about the Saints. What else did you notice from that game? What else about like media stuff too? Because I want to get into some of the stuff I've been seeing and some of the stuff amongst the fans and all of that. But yeah, what you been seeing, my co-host?
I'll say this. Gotta give him flowers. Give credit where credit is due. Troy Anderson had a great game. He had a phenomenal game. And I know we signed who's it, Rashad Evans?
Sean Evans, yep.
Sean Evans. So hopefully whatever injury Troy's going through is not bad. Hopefully this signing is just precautionary just in case he's not up to go this week. But hey, between we gonna need Troy. But if not, Rashawn's gonna have to step up. Who else? This offense needs to take a level up. We home again. We in the same black jerseys, red helmets, rocking the throwbacks again. They might as well become the regular food. They might as well become our regular unis.
Yo, gonna have to, man. Stop playing.
At this point, they might as well
stop playing with the fans, man. Give them what they want.
Especially when we keep winning in them.
And I'm like, let's be real, man. Them being updated for modern day, it's a fresh look. It's a fresh look. I've never not, and then like you said, we all usually win in them. So like, I almost want to keep them special for that reason, so that I keep associating good memories with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, the old red jerseys, that shit hit a little different when I see that Super Bowl 50 logo on there. I don't like that one as much. Yeah. So then we're gonna go ahead and keep them black or special in my head. I think that's what I want. I just want to keep remembering how cool Julio used to look in that. How cool who else looked cool as that? Most of New used to look cool as fuck in that jersey.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Jesse Bates made a lot of play in them jerseys too. I got good memories of Jesse. And heck, sometimes I even wanted to mix it up and just bring back the black helmet with the OG logo on it too.
Ooh, I want that one too, man.
Right? And stack it with that jersey. Psh, man.
Dude, one of my favorite ones is like that the jerseys from that 2000 era is white, the collar is black, and like the number is just red.
Mm-hmm. That was a classic one when you think about that number 7 in that one.
Yeah, man. I'm to tell you, dude, that jersey is iconic.
Yeah. I think that one more the big special. I think you almost more associate that era, even though no, that's the Matt Ryan era too, like that jersey because it overlapped. But because I think they changed to that jersey, and then went to the NFC Championship that year. And then yeah, right. And then that's when they changed the logo and changed it on jerseys.
I want to say so, yeah.
Maybe they changed the logo and always still had the jerseys. But I mean, I guess that's kind of a change because they would have to change the logo on the jerseys too.
Okay. All right, but enough jersey talk, man. Let's talk about the much needed elephant in the room. This offense.
I was about to say we got a couple, but
I was gonna say this.
I would say
There's
the
all
offense and the pass rush,
that
or
too.
lack thereof.
For me, the defense has done enough to where the pass rush can be number 2 on the list for me. Number 1 is offense, baby. And I know we didn't play the preseason. I know Kirk's still getting his feet under him. I know he's finally finding his stride. But come on now. Like we got some real questions that got to be answered. Namely Kyle Pitts. I ain't gonna bash on him like everybody else is, but there's a question that needs to be answered. And then Zach Robinson needs to answer some questions.
I fully and wholly agree, sir. Because I've been seeing a lot of people ready to throw Pitts under the bus, ready to say that Pitt's the problem, that Pitt's sorry,
Man, the pitchforks
and
are out.
they is out for Kyle Pitts, man. Kyle, them boys buying a one-way ticket for Kyle out. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna usher him, make sure he on time for his flight. But I'm like, the signs are there to me, right? Now I know it was the one play when you look at the 50-yard 50-yard play. It was almost a touchdown, the 50-yard near touchdown he had against the Chiefs. But I look at that play, Kyle was in man coverage. Kyle had a guy on him. Like, not a guy. He didn't just run to an open spot on the field. He had a man on him, and Kyle was leaving his man. He was leaving him. Heck, I might even edit this in depending on what happened, but NFL be hating. No, I'll just edit it in, and then when they tell me to take it down, the game will have already passed. It'll be all right. Don't do nothing, NFL. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. See, now I don't even want to put the thing in no more. See, I was gonna put one in for real, man. Now I'm scared. But yeah, man, Kyle was streaking on that play. Like he was leaving his guy. And there's been a few plays where he was leaving this guy and the ball didn't find its way to him, either because Kurt wasn't looking at him or because he threw it and he missed him, whatever. And I'm like, you can't just look at, the end result and then put all of the process on Kyle. You know what I'm saying? Especially when, Zach Robinson, like we gotta keep in mind, like I know we all had lofty expectations. We see all the shiny new stuff in the room and we get super excited, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback, especially after what we endured the last few years. And it's just so easy to think everything just gonna sort itself out. And I'm like, Kirk is still coming off of an injury, right? Is he still not like he hurt himself week 8 of last year? He's still not even a full year removed, right?
Even the chemistry with him and all the receivers is still getting better, man.
It is.
There have been a couple times where Darnell Mooney has stopped running on routes when the ball was going to be there.
Yo.
And Mooney has been arguably our best receiver. He's been playing
arguably, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love Drake, but right now Mooney's playing like WR1.
Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that because another thing I want to bring up is everybody out here trying to march Kyle Pitts out of town. You better remember that when the situation changes and gets better for you, you play better. Because the other thing I was going to say, I'm talking about him. I'm saying another thing we need to remember is Zach Robinson is a first-year offensive coordinator, first-time play caller. He has never done either of those before. He's never coordinated the offense under an official capacity. Maybe he was a quarterback coach and he was coordinating the offense or building offense, and then the offensive coordinator was the play caller or whatever. I don't know. But being that he came from Sean McVay, I have a hard time believing that he was the one designing Sean's offense. But he's a first-time offensive coordinator. He's a first-time play caller. So he learning too. And he might just be trying to mimic Sean McVay. And like we said, you ain't got Sean McVay. We got it at the house. You ain't got Cooper Kupp. Hey, we ain't got the ingredients for pizza. We got the ingredients for mac and cheese. Stop trying to make pizza with the mac and cheese ingredients.
And you can make good mac and cheese.
And one of the
mac and cheese.
That's right. It can still be good. It can still be a good dish, right? Because that's my point here. It might not be that, but it can still be a very good dish. And so I feel like he's trying to run the offense more like that. But who was the dominant offense, the dominant tight end on that offense?
with Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, they didn't have one. So you got to stop using Kyle like your tight end in that offense and use Kyle like the way that we saw him used. And so to bring this full circle, we saw the graphic that, matter of fact, so Darnell Mooney caught for 1,000 yards like 3 years ago and has not done that since. Last year, he only had one game with 55 or more yards in the game. This year, through 4 games, he already has 55 yards 3 separate times, right? Really, 65 for 2 of those and almost 65 for the third, right? And just so you know, that's 1,000 yard pace. 55, I think 55 over 17 games is 1,000 yard pace. And so I'm here to say that, hey, if we trade Kyle, yeah, who else got 1,000 yard year, then had a few down years because of his situation? Then he go to a situation where people actually try to use and accentuate their talents, and then they're gonna be good. Like if we trade Kyle to somebody who actually want him and gonna actually use him the way that he's supposed to be used, the way that he closer to the way that he was used his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I know he saw way more volume then. That helps. But he was explosive. We were getting the ball to him downfield because I'm like, look, when you try to run him on them slants, that ain't Kyle Gain. When you try to run Kyle little 5 yard outs and 5 yard ins and check that ain't Kyle Gain. Kyle is 6'6" with long limbs. He is a long strider. Sometimes he need a few steps to get going. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like that you the thing that makes Drake London special is that he's 6'4" and he got that jug to him. That's like what makes him special. If everybody could just do that, that Drake wouldn't be special. Right? What made Drake special is that he got that short area quickness at that size. Right? Kyle Pitts don't got that. But what Kyle Pitts got that Drake ain't got is deep speed. When Kyle Pitts get to the linebacker level, if he got a linebacker or a safety on him, he leaving them. We need to be more intentional about scheming up big plays. If we scheme up more big plays, I guarantee you Kyle Pitts and them will go. We basically ain't had no big plays. What big plays we had this year? We had the touchdown catch to Mooney. We had a pretty big catch for Mooney down the sideline. We had the Kyle Pitts catch. And what else?
Against the Saints, I don't think we had any.
No, I think we had one with Mooney. I think Mooney had a on the go ball.
You're right.
Remember?
We had one with him.
So we had Mooney beat a Debo on the go ball. Kyle Pitts had a 50-yard catch against the Eagles. He had that big play, but it was a good catch, and then Mooney finished it off. But I don't think we had any against the Steelers. I don't think we had. No. We had one in all three of those games. All right, well, yeah, but we've only had three like real big plays that I could think of off the top of my head, and Kyle Pitts was already involved in one of them. And like, do you feel like? Let me ask: do you feel like you see the offense really like even not just Kirk haphazardly throwing the ball downfield? Do you feel like they set up and seen them really actually set up and take that many deep shots?
I don't think we haven't, but at the same time, I think Zach Robinson's still figuring this out. And he may think he is, but we clearly see he's not coaching to his strengths right now. We got some real talent on his offense, and he's calling plays that some of them are good, and I get it's an outcome-driven league. Some of them like, dog, give it to your dogs.
Yeah.
Draw up plays for them. Kyle Pitts is a matchup threat. Get some linebackers on him. Figure out a way to get some mismatches. And they don't try to. I feel like we don't maximize what we have. And it's what you said. We got mac and cheese. Make the best mac and cheese you can possibly make. We're not maximizing what we have on offense. And that's the problem I have with Zach.
So I got a thought. I wanna this one might be negative, but I also got another thought, and I just want to that's an idea, and I want to hear your thoughts on that. So I'm gonna be keep it a bean. Zach Robinson is giving 2017 Steve Sarkisian. He's giving Arthur Smith. He's not being very intentional with his play calling. Some of his play callings does not match the situation. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I still get a little upset when I think about that screen pass that he threw with 1 minute left and no timeouts, and we need to go to the length of the field. And he threw a 3-yard screen to Ray McCloud and starts the clock with a short game. Just mathematically speaking, a
That is a
deep
bad
pass,
play call.
the outcome, like a deep pass that was incomplete, is more valuable than that pass being short, incomplete, and running the clock, right? So that's a low value result on a low value play call, and I'm like,
Let me ask you this. I've never been in an NFL locker room. I don't know if you've ever been in one, but do you think any of the other coaches are asking Zach, like, why did you call this play?
I feel like that's about to start coming up. Um,
Like, as a head coach,
I'm trying to think. So the thing I'm trying to think about is I'm trying to think about what I know of Raheem, because he's the head coach. So all of that's gonna probably be his call. That's gonna be like something that's his decision, right? I'm trying to think to myself, have I ever heard of him being or seeming like a more hands-on, intrusive head coach? And the reason I say that is because he also coached under Dan Quinn. That was one of his stops after he left Tampa. He came to Atlanta. He was coaching under Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was very big on letting the coordinators do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't big on getting involved. It really helped a lot of times. It hurt that one time in the Super Bowl. Maybe on that last drive, he should have said, "Hey, Kyle, run the ball 3 times. We kicking the field goal, making this 2 possessions. We getting out of here." Right? But he said he didn't do that because that's not what he did all year. And so I don't know if he's going to be one of those types, or if he's going to be more likely to step in, because he also knows a little bit of offense too. So he came in the league as a defensive coordinator, but if you remember, at some point when he was a coach with us, he was the receivers coach and the passing game coordinator. So he's not a coach that's completely inept on offense. Like, what I'm saying? He might have suggested an input that he might think that, based off what he's seeing, it's time to step in. And the other thing, too, is that he already coached with Zach in LA. So he already has a previous relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, he don't already have an idea of what he thinks that he needs to do to get the best out of Zach.
I was
Now,
going to say that, man. He's been around a lot of coaches. So he's been, and I believe he was also on the Redskins coaching staff back when they had McVay, Shanahan. It was back in like that. Remember that 2000?
yeah, he did. He was on some stacked staffs, because he was on that Buck staff way back when with Mike Tomlin and Monty Kiffin and Lovey. I think Lovey Smith was there. Lovey Smith was there. Yeah,
He has been on some stacked rosters.
yeah. He's like some coaching all-star rosters, really. Because that Redskins ones, yeah, that was that Washington team. I
That's
forget.
the thing I like about him. He has been around a lot of different coaching styles. He's been around McVay. He's been around Dan Quinn. He's been around a bunch of different brilliant offensive minds. So we're really gonna see how this play out, man. Because I know it's only been game 4. We're 2-2, but the offense has not taken the step that I needed. They've taken steps a little bit chemistry wise. They've gotten a little bit better. Of course, you're gonna get better throughout the year. But play calling wise, I'm like, come on now. We got to get a little bit better now.
Let me ask you this. So this is the other thought that I was having. You think it's time for Zach to get out the booth?
You think
You think maybe he need to be downstairs with the players?
You think he coach better? I know he gets a better view, but
yeah, some coaches, it's so weird. So some of that booth stuff is weird, but like, I think I think maybe sometimes it just vibe more with your personality. Like maybe, you can call better plays if you get more input from the quarterback, from what he's seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, I think Shanahan was in the booth with Matt Ryan, and it worked. I'm trying to remember which way did it go though, because Shanahan started out one way, and it didn't work out at first. Like it started working out at first in 2015. Um, but I'm just trying to remember if I'm getting them confused. Was it Dan Quinn who was in the booth calling defense, and then he came down?
No, because Dan Quinn was the head coach.
That's what I'm saying. That would make no sense for him to be in the booth. That would make no sense.
No head coach has ever been in the booth. You can't.
No, bruh.
You have the challenge flag. You don't know who can throw it.
Somebody was in the booth and they came down, and then
It had to have been Shanny. Who else?
yeah.
Was
But
it?
see, the thing is, the whole thing is, I feel like they tried to account for this. That's the whole reason you get Kirk. You know, whether you take a quarterback in the draft, you like, hey, we got a first-time play caller. I can't give this man, first-time play caller, first-time offensive coordinator, no previous history of developing a young quarterback, and then I give him a young quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He like, I need a vet. I need somebody who can learn the system. I need somebody who could give input on what they're seeing, what improvements they need, what they're comfortable, what they're not comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Um, but the other thing too, I think with the offense too, if I had to rank it, I think Zach has the most room for improvement. But I would say Kirk is second.
Okay.
And I'm not. It's hard to try to keep this last game in context because I think we can both agree that holding call on Jake was bullshit, right?
I will say this. That was a great drive.
And that was a great drive, and one of his screens worked. So, like, how do I grade that? Because I'm like, I could sit and talk all about that offense, but that could have been 4 more points right there.
It could have.
You know what I'm saying?
If the ref don't call that, maybe I'm singing a whole different tune.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, yeah, exactly. Like, maybe you singing a whole different tune. We don't know how that plays out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the Falcons get the ball back at some other time because the Saints do something different. XYZ is different, and then, things looking different. And to be fair, they still did have 4 scoring drives. Now, 2 of them was 50-yard field goals. The final drive was basically all penalty yardage because Ray McLeod got his yards, and then Ryan Newsel got basically a false start penalty, illegal snap infraction, with a moving clock.
Dude, the fact that we won that game is crazy.
You just think about how much we was like, you sure you don't want this game?
Dog.
You sure? You sure? All right, we'll take it then. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, yo.
I go back and think about that game. I'm like, dog, we had no business winning.
But to be fair though, I read, or not read, well, I read it, but I think Darnell Mooney said it. I just read a transcript. But Darnell Mooney said that he basically trained or trained in his mind to draw that pass interference on that play. He said that what he specifically made sure he did was on that play, he made sure to put his hands up early because he knew Paulson Adebo was going to reach early if he put his hands up early. But if he put, late hands, like a lot of times you don't want the receiver to know when the ball coming, so you do late hands. But he was like, I guess that's what he was doing the whole game. That's why he caught that same pass on Paulson Adebo on that go route. But now I done put my hands up and I got you beat. Your first instinct, the ball coming. I'm about to hit it. Ball ain't there yet though. And so then you get the PI, and that was huge.
Game, baby.
But I will say this though, as disappointed as I am with the play design and play calling, and with Kirk, like it does feel like we still live this far off sometimes.
And you know what it really is? You know what it really is for me? It's not even the play calling throughout the whole game. It's the play calling on that last drive. we got bailed out by pass interference. That play calling on that last drive was terrible. It was terrible. It's not even the whole game for me. The reason I have such a sour taste in my mouth is because the last thing I saw on that last drive
It was
was
trash.
terrible play
It
call.
was trash.
Deep shot
Hey,
after
but see,
deep shot. We're
bro,
gonna force Koo to hit a career long game winner.
and like some of that, I'm like, that had to be Kirk, right? Like, what the fuck was Kirk doing?
Like, granted, Darnell Mooney had him beat on one play. I'll give him that.
No. That one when Mooney stopped running, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that could have been a walk-in
And I'll
touchdown.
tell you, Mooney stopped running because he's got bad tendencies from having bad quarterbacks before who never threw him the ball. He's finally getting comfortable getting reliable targets now. Mooney's gonna have a 1,000-yard season this year.
Yeah, I
Right?
think
I hope he does. He needs to.
with 17 he might. Because I mean,
Kyle,
all you need for 1,000 in a 16-game season is 63. I think all you need is for 1,017 is 55 or something like that.
dude, we can do. You telling me Kyle Pitts can't get 55 yards a game?
Bruh, I'm telling you.
You telling
And
me
my thing
Kyle
is, I'm
Pitts
like,
fucking
bruh,
draw? He can't get 2 catches. You telling me Kyle Pitts can't get 55 yards a game?
bruh,
That's on you, dog.
I'm hoping, I'm praying that they decide. Oh, matter of fact, I gotta see. Hold on. How long we been recording? I can't tell.
26
Oh,
minutes.
okay. Because it's getting about to be time to talk about the Bucs game, and I don't know if anybody was paying attention. I was like real distracted looking around. It's because I was looking. I'm trying to see what the injury report is. So we already shaky because Troy is out. It is official. He's out.
Did they say with what?
Knee.
Knee?
Yeah, so he totally hurt his knee. Yeah, I thought it wasn't his knee. I thought he got shaken up on the play. He took a hit because he had his arm around somebody, but he wasn't like leaning on him like, I can't put weight on it. But yeah, it's his knee, probably his left knee. But yeah, he's out. Now, I think there's still some room to be positive because they didn't put him on IR. They didn't put him or Caleb on IR. So I'm thinking they're not going to play this game, but they're not going to need an IR designation. So I'm assuming they'll be back either the following game or the game after that. I'm trying to see. Okay, yeah, they say now for this is for on Fox Sports,
Oh,
and
Caleb
this
McGarry had a
was
full practice on Wednesday.
what?
Yeah.
Where I say that at?
Well, I'm looking at it. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. I'm on Bleacher Report right now.
Well, look at when it's updated. When's your last update? My last update is 6:45 p.m. on Fox Sports.
It says Monday limited, Tuesday limited, Wednesday full.
But Caleb McGarry?
Yeah.
Oh, I see limited on Fox Sports, but I mean he's still already practicing more than I thought he was going to practice.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, Troy Anderson is out.
Yeah, Troy's out. Bijan dealing with a hammy.
They said he practiced full today.
He probably did. I don't know. He looked fine in the depressor. But the Bucs, they got Luke Gedeke out. Antoine Winfield and Vita Vea. What are you seeing? Because I ain't gonna lie, I keep seeing unknown, and like this report was allegedly.
Vita Vea had a full on Wednesday, so I'm assuming he's
Okay,
playing.
he's fine. All right, he's fine.
Yeah.
What about Antoine Winfield? He missed last game.
It says game status. He's out.
Okay. What about Trey Palmer?
Out.
Okay. Jalen McMillan?
Out.
Kalijah Kancey?
Kalijah Kancey out.
Oh, they hurting a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. They
Right
are hurt.
now, the only person we have out is Troy. Questionable is Jace McKellen, but he don't play anyways, really. So
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I saw him. I read his name and then I kept scrolling. No disrespect, Jason.
I want to see what's wrong with Troy. I wish they'd tell you. I wish they'd let you know what his injury was.
Hey man, look, if they're not telling us, I'm hoping that means it's not so serious that he about to miss extended time.
Me too. Me too.
All right, because Caleb McGarry, they said it's an MCL sprain. Um, but
All right, well, we've gone over the injury report. We know who's playing. We know who's not. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk
so
about.
yeah, so basically, what I was hoping, what I was getting into was, if Winfield not playing, and they linebacker situation looking at us looking where they got good linebackers, but not necessarily the guys who can cover Kyle Pitts. I mean, this is a game right here, to involve Kyle more. You know what I'm saying? Um, I watched some of the Bucks Eagles game, but obviously, usually I watch the Falcons and division rivals, but the Falcons were playing a hated division rival. I needed to give 100% of my attention
Oh,
to the
likewise, my
team,
brother. Likewise.
to that game. So I didn't watch all of that, but what I did see
Was
was
that scoreline?
the
I saw the
Bucks.
scoreline.
The Bucks cooked on offense. What I really saw was they did a fantastic job protecting Baker, especially on plays where they wanted to pick up some yards, like unintentional plays. Like it was sometimes he got some pressure, but it was really more up the middle on blitzes. And if you're not getting edge pressure and you getting pressure at the middle, Baker usually can escape that. Like unless it's like unblocked pressure, Baker can escape that and make you pay with his legs. One of the things I'm a little nervous about is Baker ain't gonna be Derek Carr. Now I told you with Derek Carr, if you give him time, he a special thrower of the ball. But you get pressure in his face, everything special about him go out the window. And that is not the case for Baker. That's kind of why I brought him up last time, because I was like, hey, Baker, he ain't gonna lose everything good about him when you get a little pressure on him. You're gonna have to like actually get pressure. You're gonna have to actually like get it up the middle and from the edges, right? Now with Luke Gedeke out, that's gonna be huge. That's Matthew Judon's guy. Typically, he's usually on that side. Um, and you said Trey Palmer and the Millers out, so they still mostly on hand. They got the two receivers I care about.
Godwin and
Uh,
Evans.
yeah. And we know how like Evans getting one on us. That's in the bag. All right. Like he typically he owns the matchup with AJ Terrell. Um, but we do, Baker did play against us last year. And we contained them pretty well in Tampa last year. Um, the second game was just one of them Tampa games. That was one of them games where they just find a way to beat you, even if they don't like score all their points on offense. Like didn't they have a pick six or like a pick off of the screen? Desmond Ritter threw a screen and then it got picked.
I want to say so. I want to say they did.
Yeah, and then he like got stopped right before the goal line. That's an easy touchdown. I think they had another turnover that was close to an easy touchdown, and they just did buck things in that game. And when we lost, but I think one of the benefits we have, it's funny that I'm about to even try to list this as a benefit, is that the Eagles lost because they couldn't get pressure on Mayfield, and they guys simply can't hold up in coverage. They never do. I don't know what the hell that is about. It seems like no matter who they put back there, somebody getting beat in coverage for them. But we don't get no pass rush anyway. So it's not like, we go out to see anything. Any pass rush we get is extra for this secondary. All right. But I think if we can keep the top on them, God, we got to find a way to stop the run. The Bucks, it seemed like they started figuring out a little bit of a run game against the Eagles. And the Bucks got a big, strong old line. Just a matter of whether or not we're gonna not let them push us around in the interior. I think if we can hold up in the interior, we can put the kibosh in the run game because they're still not that great at running the ball, but they are good at getting movement up the middle, and we weak there. Right? Um, Anything about the Bucks offense that has your concern, or what you think about with the Bucks hope?
You pretty much. But hammer on the nail, my man. Godwin and Evans are going to be the big problems for them. Like us, they also don't really have a dominant tight end. They don't really go to their tight end much. It's mainly like their receiving core. So, in order for us to really dial in, I mean, I'd say my biggest concern is Godwin, Evans, and containing Baker. We got to contain him, keep him in that pocket. Even if we don't necessarily get pressure, don't let him escape and be able to like extend plays.
Right.
And hopefully we can maybe do something, man. Judon's got another favorable matchup. I'm hoping he can take advantage of it like he did last week.
I think this might be a game we want to focus on stopping the run and forcing Baker to play from the pocket and beat us throwing the ball against coverage. All right. Now, what I am a little nervous about is the offer is kind of having a little rough start of the year. I thought he had kind of a rough game against the Chiefs. I thought he had a pretty rough game against the Saints, although he did make a couple key plays. You
He
know,
did. He did.
but I thought he had a little bit of a rough game, and I feel like part of the reason he's been having a rough year is because that's the guy people want to go after. AJ Terrell, he has a reputation that precedes him. Mike Hughes has been good. Like he has been a guy who maybe he'll complete a lot of passes on his side. You won't get a lot of yards doing it though. Like he's been one of the best tackling secondary people on the team.
Absolutely.
So I think people have been wanting to go after Alford, and they love getting Godwin in the slot. They love letting him use his footwork and his size to try to get open, and so that's why I got a little concern for him. But I do think that if we can, I think we can probably have to blitz. If I'm being real, we're gonna probably have to blitz to get pressure. And I don't know though, man. I'm a little nervous about the blitz. I think if you blitz Baker, you can't blitz him up the middle. Because if you blitz him up the middle and you're not getting the edge pressure, he's gonna just escape.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll say this, man. They both can't have good games. One of the two has to have a bad game. We're gonna have to cut. We have to shut one of them down. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. If they both go off on us, we're gonna lose. They both
Yeah.
can't. They both can't go off. We're gonna have to shut one of them down.
Baker threw for 347, 2 tugs, no picks. So yeah, no, that can't happen. But I mean, they was humming. They were humming along. Like that was they are improved on offense. That's
That was a get
something
right
I
game.
gotta.
They lost to Denver the week before. That was a get right game.
Yeah, but then you also look at what they did against Washington, and then they beat the Lions. So like they humming well, but they are dealing with some injuries, and you know some injuries kind of saved us against the Saints. God bless. It's like, man, that boy Taysom Hill got hurt after scoring 2 touchdowns, and some other guys was out. They had to back up. I think Eric McCoy was out. Cesar Ruiz was out. So, hey, they misfortune is gonna have to be our fortune, and we're gonna have to take advantage of it. I think if I'm trying to stop the Bucks, I think I don't think we can afford to stick to man coverage. I think we're gonna want to play zone, like I said, play zone, and see if we can get pressure before, and then basically just try to force Baker to play from the pocket. Um, and I think we can contain the offense. Is what I'm saying. I don't foresee what they did against the Redskins and the Eagles to happen with us. Now, what I do want to talk about too is I want to go ahead and flip over, talk about the our offense going against their defense, right? We need Zach to figure something out because this is Todd Bowles defense. So they're gonna want to play a lot of man, and they're gonna want to be aggressive. And one of the things that they're gonna do, and we still hadn't quite seen to figure it out, is how to handle when they send the house and when they send immediate pressure on must throw, gotta have situations, right? So one of the things a lot of those like aggressive defensive and aggressive coordinators like to do is they're gonna want to play tight coverage and then send everybody and force you to throw the ball right away. All right. Now, the one antidote to that is short third downs. But unfortunately, that ain't been our recipe. Now, how we gonna solve that, Cam?
I think we got to do a better job of getting Tyler Algier the ball. Something I've noticed that's been a trend for us is we'll wear him down a little bit earlier with Bijan. In the second half, we'll give him a big old dose of Tyler Algier. Defense is tired, making business decisions when he's hitting you pretty hard, breaking off big chunks. That's how we've been able to move the ball down the field in the second half. It's kind of just been the trend of our offense.
Buck's been pretty
I,
solid against the run. You think we're gonna be able to move the ball on the ground against
I
them?
think Bijan is very good, but at the same time, I think we got to use Algier a little bit more. I think, if I'm being honest, I think it should be an Algier game. Maybe we can use Bijan a little bit more in the passing in passing situations, but I think Algier should get a little bit more. He has earned a few more touches this week, in my opinion.
Didn't he get the whole game against the Bucks last year when we played in Tampa?
I want to
Because
say he did.
that was the game at the last minute they said, yeah, Bijan ain't playing.
It was.
How'd he do in that game?
I want to say he played pretty well. I can't. I'd have to look up the stats, but I want to say he played pretty well.
I'm about to try to look him up now. I don't
But
know.
he
I
did,
know we don't. So I'm still expecting us to struggle a little bit running the ball because you know
we got to
the
establish the start
assignment
game.
the assignment that Ryan Newsel draws this week is Vita Vea. I wouldn't dare expect Ryan Newsel to be able to manhandle Vita Vea.
And yeah, Vita is playing, so yeah, we got to deal with him.
Yeah. Now Storm Norton, I think he'll be. Oh, let's see. Is this it? Yeah. So Storm Norton, I think he'll be able to hold up in pass protection. Now that's the other thing. Um, I think I think we might be okay in pass protection against the Bucs, provided they don't blitz. But the Bucs don't care. The Bucs will absolutely blitz. So what I'm wanting to know is, do we think we can get our receivers can get open against their corners on hot routes?
I mean, who are their corners? I know they lost Carlton. They lost Carlton Davis. Antoine Willenfield is out, so they lost a. I mean, Carlton Davis, they lost him in free agency, but Antoine Willenfield is out. So I mean, I don't know who their corners are. Do they have any? Do they have any world beaters? Do they have any good number ones?
Bro, I don't remember either. I remember seeing Sean Murphy Bunton playing for somebody else, and I was like, well, who the hell playing corner for the Bucks? I don't know why I don't know who their corners are, but I think they're pretty solid. I know. See, it's hard to say because last week another thing that happened was they played the Eagles without AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? I'm like, well, yeah, of course you're gonna press against them receivers and then blitz.
They ain't got nobody else.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they might do that, and we can punish with Mooney. Mooney's got good speed.
Ray shifty.
Ray Shifty.
We need to take advantage of Kyle Pitts in this mismatch. Like, get some. We need to get Kyle Pitts on deep routes, man.
Yeah,
What some we
man.
don't do.
I really think that's what's really got to happen. I really feel like we gotta use it more, use Kyle Pitts more. But it's also too about creating the matchups. Like that's the other thing, man. I feel like that play with that was a slant with Pitts against Lattimore that almost kind of got picked off. That is just not a good matchup. And I know you could say Pitts could run a better route or whatever, but that is just not the guy that I want to see Kyle Pitts matched up on, at least not on that route. Especially not on that route. A short area route, Marshawn Lattimore he
You're
gonna
gonna beat him
beat
up
Pitts
every
to some
time.
of these balls, yeah. But I think like if you ran like a deep over, made him follow Pitts all the way across the field, yeah, Pitts gonna separate. You know what I'm saying? But like I want to see more deep crosses too. That's another thing. I feel like I'm not. I don't know, man. Look, that's why I have a hard time. I ever predicted what's gonna happen with the offense. Like I feel like it's gonna be meh, but it might be enough. And that's kind of like been this team's whole thing this year. Like offense been meh, but some weeks it's gonna be enough, and some weeks it's not. You know what I'm saying? And some weeks it's gonna be close. Like that week against the Chiefs, it was close, but not enough.
You're right.
And last week against the Saints, if we got to be real, we did get a little lucky. I looked at that play again, the pick six, and what I thought happened did not happen. So I thought that they knew it was a screen, and that D Alford jumped the screen, and so Carr double clutched the ball, and then he batted it, and Judon batted it up, and then it got picked off. We were sending a blitz. They had the right call against that blitz. That could have been going the other way for six. But what happened was, he charged on his blitz so hard that the guy assigned to block him couldn't get a good block on him, and so D was still in the pathway of the throw. And then Judon. Now I will admit Judon did make a decent heads up play. He charged him, but instead of just jumping immediately, he caught himself. He paused and waited for Carr to throw, and then tried to bat it. He didn't like just jump up and do those. Although if he would have jumped up and did that, it probably would have either been an incomplete pass or a sack, but it wouldn't have been a pick six. And we needed them points.
And we needed them points.
We needed them points. That's one of them times where when somebody say sacks overrated, that's what they mean. Like a sack would have been a good play on that play, but the pressure, and then the throw, and that's kind of one of them things that changed that. So we did get a little lucky on that play, and what could have been six going for them ended up being 6+. I think if we can just get a semblance of a running game. Now, I looked up the stats when last year when we played them, Tyler Algier went 21 for 59. So he had 21 carries, on average less than 3 yards a carry. But Cordell Patterson went 10 for 56. So he had 10 totes at 5.5 yards a carry, or over 5.5 yards a carry. So there's some room to get something going against them. I think it's going to be more with a shiftier back. We saw with Saquon, he had a huge run. He basically was all or nothing against them. So I think if Bijan can't play, and we kind of got to be a more plotting run game, because with Bijan, where Tyler Algier excels is where his physicality can really come into play. You know what I'm saying? If you got a smaller defense, man, he about to hurt you. And to be fair though, Algier's not like slow. You know what I'm saying? He just he just doesn't have the long speed. You know what I'm saying? But he's got a little quickness to him. But he's still more of a bowling ball. I think against the Bucs that'll be a little bit harder to move the ball. So hopefully Bijan can play. I think we can. It's weird to say this, but I think we can isolate Levante David in coverage a little bit. He's definitely lost his stuff. He's still a good player, but he's definitely not the same. And just don't turn the damn ball over, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. Sometimes watching Jalen Hurts be giving me a headache. Like I watched him, he had a strip sack. He got stripped on a sack, and he got stripped by Levante David. And Levante David blitzed, and he Statue of Liberty'd him, and then ducked under, and then tried to throw it right after. And I'm like, how the hell hard you thought you shook the man? Like, damn, you think he in the end zone after that fake? Like, no, the nigga right behind you.
Oh my God.
Like, it was a good play too. Like Levante David coming down the pipe at him. He freeze, duck move him. And then right after the duck move, and then don't even duck move and do that. He don't even do that. He duck moved. And then I'm like, where do you think he is? The man is right there. He an NFL player too. And like I just see Jalen Hurts do a few plays like that where he'll evade the pressure, but then he just act like he got all fucking day. like a guy ain't chasing him. Like that Carl Granderson caused a strip sack against him too. And it was because he was running and Granderson chasing him and he not running full speed because he think he got time to turn and throw. And I'm like, boy, if you don't bust your butt and start like sprinting full speed, and then he slapped the ball out of his hands, and I'm like, Jesus, Jalen. And so I think that's another thing. But I ain't gonna lie though, I don't know how much faith I got in us not turning the ball over. Ain't we turned the ball over every game this year? Did we turn it over against Philly?
I don't believe we did. I
I
don't
think
think
we
Hurts was
did.
an exception. I
Yeah.
think it was turnover on downs. That's about it.
And then the boot, like, it's not just picks. Like Kurt got strip sacked too. It's just Bergeron jumped on the ball.
No, that did happen as well.
Yeah, man. Like I'm kind of needing to see us just sort something out. I don't know. Um I'd be lying if I said that I was just super confident going into this game, right? But I do still see a very winnable game. You know what I'm saying? The Bucs are a familiar opponent. It's a short week. They got to come to us. Usually road team on a short week is bad for the road team. It just is. Having to travel and having to do your normal routine 2 or 3 days early, depending on how you want to count it. 3 days early, and having to travel, and probably being shorthanded because they're gonna be missing some guys. That goes against you. And then the Falcons right there. Look, if I'm keeping it in the butt, the Falcons are right there, right? And we know they're right there because some of the time it's how many times have we all said, "Oh man, Rats, he just missed on that throw." You know what I'm saying?
Oh, plenty
It's
times here.
a bunch of times, right? So some of those, even if Zach doesn't improve, but Kirk does, some of those are gonna start to hit. And then with the way the defense playing, the defense, boy, they give up a lot of yards, man. But God bless them, they don't give up too many points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So we'll see where it goes. But what's your score prediction?
my score prediction. I think it's gonna be a close game because it's the Falcons. We don't blow teams
Yeah,
out.
right.
We have no choice but for it to be a close game.
Yeah.
I think this is the get right week for the offense. I know it's a short week, but the injury bug's favoring us. I think we can take advantage of some matchups. I say Falcons 31-28.
Oh wow. Wow. How the hell do you sit down with balls that big picking a score like that, man? I wouldn't pick the Falcons to score 31.
Well, I'm
I
also including the defense.
No, no. I was about to say, I'm betting on the defense. That's why my score is gonna be lower. I'm like, now I don't know what the offense could do. I do think the defense can contain the Bucs, though. I think this could be probably I could see this being like nah, it ain't gonna be that different. Like a 23-21 game. I don't know where I'm picking. There's certain numbers that's so arbitrary to pick. Picking 23 is such an arbitrary number, but I don't feel like this is a 24-point game for the Falcons offense. I feel like this is once you start getting 24, you start being mid-20s. I feel like this is a low 20s game, but a good low 20s game, a high quality low 20s game, a 23-point victory. And I think the Falcons can hold them the 21 points. However they score the 21, who knows? But I think they can hold them to 21.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I'm hoping that's what we can do, man. I'm feeling optimistic about this week. Baker, he can be a problem, but I don't think he's anything we can't handle.
Yeah.
It's a division rival as well. So I think we got what it takes. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, depending on how we know he's no better than the second best quarterback we played, and we played all of the quarterbacks we played this year pretty decent.
How many points we let Pat score?
Huh?
How many points Pat put up?
Hey man, he put up 22.
22?
Yeah.
They put up 22
and
points.
they still had Rasheed Rice. You know what I'm saying? So, well, at least when we played them. But I think we can contain the Bucks off. I mean, let's be real now. You know, the Bucks not broad beaters. They are a real solid team though. They one of them teams that's real fundamentally sound top to bottom. So I think if we can go ahead, just don't turn the ball. Just don't turn the ball over. I
And we
think
can
if
limit
we
turnovers.
don't turn the ball over, even if the offense not perfect, if we can just either I will take either. We either get more short yardage third downs, or we keep the third downs we get and we just complete more of them. Like the time of possession being as lopsided as it has been the last few games, the last couple games is no, last 3 games, all 4
All
games.
4 games, dog. Because we get in third and long situations.
Yeah, like we like real talk. Look, I think part of what's giving us so much optimism is because we still early enough in the season and we doing well enough in the season that the line is still blurry between us being a bad team and us being a team with a lot of potential,
Like we're not a
right?
good team. We're 2-2 with a solid defense and an offense that just can't get right yet.
No, let me ask you
It's
this though.
close.
This
It's
is why I
close.
said this is why I said the line is thin though. If we were 0-4 right now and everything played out the way we played out, except Koo missed the field goal, and instead of getting the pick, the Eagles actually got in field goal range and kicked the game-winning field goals. So all them games played the same, but we lost and we 0-4. Would you say this is a bad football team?
I'd
And
say
that's hold on. And before we go there, and that's what I mean by the line is a thin line, because we could have lost some games and be like, oh shit, look at what the same thing we're looking at now and say this is a bad team. But because they 2-2, we can look at everything that they haven't done and say, so it could still get better than this. We could actually hit on some of these plays. Zach Robinson could start to figure it out. We could start to figure out a pass rush. It's still like the ceiling doesn't feel like it's been hit, but we still in contention. So
and
I
honestly,
feel like this is almost a statement game, bro. I think you win this game, you first in the division, then beat the top 2 teams in your division. Like you sending the message, and then you beating them while you're not even playing your best.
I'm gonna say something right here. I think how we're playing right now is our floor. I think this is the worst we're ever gonna play. We haven't played well. I think we
I ain't gonna.
will only get better from here. I think
What I
right now we're
said.
at our floor.
That's the thin line.
Yeah.
Like you look at the team, the thing that makes it a thin line between being a bad team and a team with a lot of potential is that you can still see the silver lining. Roll credits.
Ooh.
Like, yeah, no, but for real though, you still look at the team and be like, they not playing good at all. But like all 4 games have been very competitive.
One score games.
One score games. And they won half of them. It's like, yo, if they just do 1, 2, and 3, like, you get me?
I get you, man.
All right.
Get you, man. We almost there, man. I feel like we close. The offense is close. Zach's got to get it together. I feel like Kirk is closer to getting it together than Zach is at the moment. But
Yeah.
even then, though, if Kirk gets it together, that's gonna propel us. That's gonna give us a couple more dubs.
And you know what else too? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You know, Zach been improving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm jumping on him, but I guess I'm complaining about the speed of the increment of his improvement. The fact that I still feel like he not using all of his weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're using all of your weapons and we're not doing nothing, that's one thing. But like at least using them proper, but you're just not maybe doing it right, right? Like I don't know. Like I got a mean on against Zach Robinson for his usage of Kyle Pitts. But that aside, I still feel like there's a lot in front of us. We'll see though. Look, maybe this won't even be the year. Maybe we all put all the eggs in the basket for this year, but maybe next year will really be the year. Kirk will be removed, another year removed from the Achilles injury. Zach Robinson will have his feet wet. You know what I'm saying? The whole offense will be installed more. Who knows? But
Don't get me
that's
wrong. I'm all for planning for the future, but it's football, baby. It's any given Sunday, man. I'm all for this year, baby.
Yo, hey man, I
I
might
have
die
suffered
next year.
enough.
I might
We
get
have
hit by a
suffered
train.
enough
I don't
advance,
know.
man. We have done enough suffering. I'm ready to win now.
Yo, I mean, look. They at worst they're the plucky team that could. And you know what? With the team, and then with the teams they played, ain't no reason to think that they can't give us 10 if they heat up at the end. Ain't
That's
no
what I'm
reason to
saying,
think that we
man.
can't at least get 10 if they heat up. You know
That's
what
what I'm
I'm saying?
saying,
It's
man.
just the fear that it's just honest to God, it's really just the fear that it's gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? That maybe we got Kirk right at the tail end. Or maybe although we got a backup for that one. But
Exactly.
yeah. See, they already put that one in the chamber. I ain't gonna lie, man. We might have to do just a pod just to talk about the off-season stuff that we didn't talk about because we started up when the season started. But I'm not gonna lie, there are scenarios that play out in my head that I'm like, yeah, that Penix pick look a little better than you think. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. We'll cross them bridges when we get to it.
Exactly.
All right, brother. I think it's about time to wrap up, man. We done had a long night, boy. We done worked today, boy.
Hey, man. Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be
Somebody,
us.
hey, baby. Hey, somebody ain't got to do it. Somebody get to do it. You feel me?
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. Hey, we punched our lucky ticket. All right, man. Well, look, please like and subscribe. Please leave some comments, man. What we love is comments. Y'all, everything you put in the comments, we love. So if you got anything you want to say or add or talk about with the Falcons, go ahead, put it in the comment section. Cam, anything you want to say before we head on out?
Yeah, we appreciate you guys, and if you guys want to leave a comment or let us know what you guys think we should improve on, or any suggestions, any talking points, feel free to let us know.
All right, man. Well, it's been good being with you. This is the Silver Lining, and we signing out.